that beauty out. Oh, that's a little overdone. I think I did it too much. There we go. Yummy ribeye steak. Yes. Shut that heat off on the oven. Oh, I should probably put some eggs in there, huh? Yeah, let's do that. Let's go to our fridge. Say hi to Gray Bear. She's pretty. Under the fridge. See what we got in here. A bunch of stuff. I don't have any eggs left. I don't have a lot of room on my counters right at the moment. So I'm going to have to come up with a plan here to move this thing out of the way. I don't know why it's in the way anyways. Just random stuff here. Okay, yeah. Let's cook some eggs up real quick in the rendered fat we got going on over there. What I got in here is reindeer sausage that was fried up and a little bit of beef tallow. And it is actually really, really yummy. Wow, I only got left with 3 eggs tonight. That's all I have. So I guess it's going to be 3 eggs, steak, reindeer sausage, and some fat. Now I've been doing this way of eating for the last 90 days. You know, beef, I got ribeye steak, I got reindeer sausage, I'm eating eggs. And this is primarily the majority of all of my food intake. It's going to be this one meal. There might be a little bit of snack later, but I highly doubt it because I usually don't. I get tired quickly and I go to bed. Because I just got done working about a 9 or a 10-hour day driving a big truck. And this is how I get that little eggshell out of there. Always use the eggshell to get the eggshell out. It works really, really well. Okay, we're going to let those eggs cook. And I will probably give them one flip. But, yeah, that's what I got going on here. Got a ribeye steak. A little overdone on this side. It should be okay on the inside. Reindeer sausage. And these are the little fat pieces that I trim off the front of the ribeye. And I fry these up first. They are so epically delicious. Like, oh my goodness, like wow. Oh. So yeah, if you're by a ribeye steak and you have a hard time making that little piece of fat edible, just cut it off, slice it up into little tiny chunks, and it makes it almost like bacon, but better. I mean, there's a little meat sliver right there. It's just amazing. All right. I got to do a pour attempt on flipping these eggs. There we go. That looks awesome. Guys, I've lost so much weight. And I've gotten so much health benefits out of eating like this. No vegetables. The only seasoning I've been using here is Redmond's real salt, garlic salt. I've been real heavy on that. Now, when you're doing the carnivore diet, you really need to up your salt intake. So I've already heavily salted this steak. And then I'm going to salt it again. Then we're going to put some more salt over here. Then we're going to put some more salt over here. Now, the traditional way of thinking is this is a heart attack waiting to happen. Well, it's actually the exact opposite. Ah! It's going to be grease in the eye in a second. Holy moly. All right, let's get these out before they start causing me problems. We're going to put a couple over here. Ta-da. 2 on that plate. I'm going to take the last one. I'm going to put it on the steak anyways. There we go. Yeah, okay. Toss that in the sink. Then we're going to head on over to the table and have a little sit down, because this is kind of what we do here. Once in a while I'll do a random live stream such as this one right here, just so I can actually interact with the people, sometimes random people out on the internet or on YouTube, and we can have a conversation about the carnivore diet, how it's been working for me, stuff like that, trying to, maintain my previous weight loss and my current weight. That's why I like the carnivore diet, is because I can maintain all of my weight loss just eating a lot of meats and fats. I don't gain weight eating meats and fats. I've put it to the test, and it works. It just really works. I live in Alaska, so we got to leave the water trickling a little bit, or it's gonna freeze, and it's been snowing outside. So let's get this spun around. So this is what I got. I got a ribeye steak. I got 3 eggs, reindeer sausage, a little bit of fat. Then you guys get to look at my ugly mug. I mean, look at this. I mean, I don't know who knew me like in the beginning of my weight loss journey, but I feel pretty good. There's still a little chub going on right here around the edges. Everything's a little jiggly still, but this is my work clothes. I'm back down into a size 36. That was crazy. That blew me away when I went to Duluth Trading Post, and I got a pair of pants in a 36, and they actually fit, and they buttoned up. I mean, that was a pretty big day right there. But hey, you need to scoot over, dog. I need a knife. We need to find a knife to cut all this. Alaska is Russia? No, it's not Russia. I mean, at one point it could have stayed Russia, but holy moly. Yo, brother. This cat is like does stuff like almost identical to Gray Bear. And it's getting fat because we feed it too much. I gotta go find a knife. Let's go. It's kind of hard to eat a ribeye steak without a knife. Oh, woo. There we go. But yeah, the snow started today. Sometime after, pretty close to 4 or 5 o'clock. We started getting some snow here. That's not going to work. I'm going to boost this up a little bit. I tip you down. Hey there, Don. I appreciate you jumping in there. My cats are probably going to destroy everything. But, so, if you take reindeer sausage and fry it up in beef tallow, my goodness, it's already awesome. So I take the little fat chunks off the ribeye steak, put those in the pan first, let it start creating some liquid, and then I toss the reindeer sausage in there. After that cooked, I put it in the bowl, fat pieces too. And then I cook my ribeye steak in the pan, cook that up on both sides, and all that, because the reindeer sausage itself has quite a bit of fat that comes out of it. And normally what I do is I just cook up the reindeer sausage, and then I put eggs in the fat that comes out of the reindeer sausage, and they come out really, really tasty. But this time I put my eggs on top of the beef tallow that came out of the ribeye fat. And it's usually the first thing I eat is the fat off the ribeye steak, because it really is as good as eating bacon, if not better. Unfortunately, that's the end of the little fatty bites, but that's okay. I'll start working my way into this steak. But yeah, guys, I've been doing beef, butter, bacon, and eggs to some extreme for over 90 days just to see what was going to happen. And I have to say that I like it. I like everything about it. So pretty much every night when I come home, I eat a ribeye steak and some eggs, at least. That's about it. And then if I want some more variety, I just put in some reindeer sausage. Gives me different proteins, different textures, different flavors. It just makes my plate a whole lot more interesting than just a steak every single night. I mean, when I started the carnivore diet, I was like, you know what? That sounds so boring. You know, eating meat every single day, that sounds so boring. But I found it to be the exact opposite of boring. Especially when you find out all the health benefits that come along with it. It's just bizarre how fast they come too. I mean, anybody can do this. Doesn't matter who you are. Let's see, snake. Smackdown, intermittent fasting. I primarily do 24-hour fasting almost every single day, and then on the weekends I might not do 24-hour fasting, but I just try to keep it meat-based as much as possible. And we're only human, you know. Once in a while we're going to make a mistake. Not necessarily a mistake, but we're going to wander off into a corner and, you know, maybe have a candy bar or something silly. But I don't tend to do that very often, and my weight loss has kind of proven that. But from time to time, we do happen to make mistakes. No, the eggs are perfect. They're not getting cold. They're just right. But now we're making the runny yolk. Oh yeah. But I had a hard time wrapping my mind around how affordable the carnivore diet can be, because, you know, like anybody else with a sane mind that's not doing the carnivore diet, that's done other various different types of diets, even keto diet, we're like, oh yeah, that's too expensive. You know, can't afford steak. Well, but they can afford to go to Starbucks and spend $7, maybe tip the barista $2 or $3. They can afford that maybe 2-3 times a day. Some people do it more often. And then they complain about the price of a steak. Well, the steak fills you up. Starbucks doesn't. Wow. That is spectacular. Now, I always like to have eggs with my carnivore meal whenever possible, because eggs is a great ketosis starter. Also keeps you in ketosis if you're already there. So you can like eat as many eggs as you want. Just cook them up in some natural fat like butter, beef tallow. I have never tried ghee. The sound of ghee makes me want to vomit. So I haven't tried it, and I don't think I will. I've heard mixed opinions about cooking with ghee. It's one of those things, you're either going to like it or you're going to hate it. And I've already found a lot of the fats that I like to cook with anyways. You know, bacon grease is one of them. Although I don't eat bacon very often, which is the funny part. If I make some, yeah, I'll eat it, but it's not one of those things I want to be cooking every single day. It's exhausting. Who's that? Well Hung 82 just subscribed. Hey, I appreciate you there. Yeah, basically, guys, I started out at 435 pounds. My doctor thinks I was like 460, maybe 450, because my original scale that I started the weight loss journey was so bad. It was one of those spring scales. It's got one of these needles that kind of bounce around. You're bending over, you're already fat, and you're trying to look over your gut and see what the number is, and the needle's going like this. And I just pulled a random number out. You know, I knew I was over 400 pounds. You know, 435 pound-ish. And then, yeah, it was just, that was a year and a half ago, guys. I mean, a little over a year and a half now. I've been doing this. Not all of it was carnivore diets. A lot of it was fasting. That's what got me started. But it seems like the family tree of all the successful carnivores that are on the internet that are doing the carnivore diet, almost every single one of them started the same. They started with fasting, then they moved on to a keto diet, and the keto diet didn't work. And they moved on to, you know, trying Atkins or all kinds of different variations of a ketosis-friendly type diet. And a lot of them just got confusing. Well, this isn't very confusing. You eat healthy steak, fatty steak, eat some eggs, and maybe throw in a variable with some reindeer sausage or some shrimp. Shrimp is another one that I like to cook a lot of. I could eat this right here, probably cook up 2 pounds of shrimp, and yeah, most likely I could eat that whole 2 pounds. This came out so good. So, yeah, the texture on it is almost caramelized in the fat. Man, that is delicious. Oh, you're making me want to try it now. They're lean lever. It says bacon grease is delicious, but ghee has a righteousness to it. Enjoy. I've never tried ghee. I'm kind of afraid to because I need to find it in a small amount. I do most of my grocery shopping at Costco Business Center, and the tub of ghee is like monster. I'm afraid that if I buy it and I don't like it, like what am I going to do with it? I don't think my dog would be very happy if I fed my dog ghee. But I don't know. Never know. Never know what's going to happen next. Now, some of this ribeye had silver skin on it, and surprisingly, I haven't had a real problem with it yet. Silver skin is very hard to chew. It's almost inedible. I think there's a little piece right there. But yeah, I didn't notice that when I bought the big slab of ribeye, because you can flip it around, you know, check it out pretty good. You try to get the one without a lot of silver skin, but I look mainly for the fat. If I see a lot of fat on a ribeye, that's kind of what I'm going for. Because you can get some ribeye that don't have a lot of fat at all. But most ribeye steaks, they got a lot of connective tissue, which is great for like the collagen and all the extra goodness that you need. My current weight, so since I've been doing BBBE, beef, bacon, butter, and eggs, or whatever you want to call it, I think I started around 280 something pounds, maybe 289. I'll have to go back and look through my notes for this weekend's update video, just to kind of dial it in. But yeah, the last time I weighed myself, I think I was like 260 something, which is good. But since I started doing, you know, such a meat heavy type diet, I really stopped being overly focused on the scale, because so many inches were coming off. I mean, I was losing a lot around my belt line. So this belt, I mean, it wraps around me now all the way over to here. And every time I lose a little bit, I just add a hole. That's better than measurement for me. I mean, I don't get any satisfaction with the tape measure. But, I mean, that's pretty impressive all by itself. My wife bought me a really nice belt. I haven't used it yet. I will probably use it somewhere around the holidays. Most likely, I'll break it out and start wearing that. But it's a belt you can actually trim off a little bit at a time, you know, as you lose weight, so you don't have all that excess belt hanging around. Hey, Sarah, so good. Sarah Goodman says hello from Syria. Oh, that's a nice reach there. Yeah, hello from Alaska. It's nice to meet people from all around the globe. That's why I enjoy this stuff. Let's see. Lenny Lever. Yes, it's kind of better than butter because the milk solids are taken out. Richness and flavor. Okay, I'm going to try it. You talk me into it. I will try it eventually. Boston. I grew up in New Hampshire. I used to visit Boston a lot when I was young. It was about 50 miles away from Concord. We'd jump on a Greyhound bus. We'd go skateboarding. We'd go to the museums. I was real big into architecture, not necessarily doing anything with it, but I was interested in the architecture of a lot of the buildings on the East Coast, because there are just some amazing buildings on the East Coast, some very complex structures. And I used to like skateboarding in Boston. Not exactly the safest place, but anyway. Jersey. Joyfuls89 says, hello from Jersey. In the Channel Islands, UK. Oh, okay. Tiny island between England and France. Thanks for clearing that up for me. Right on, Lenny, from New Mexico. Nice. Now, I've been an over-the-road truck driver for the majority of my life, but I've been a truck driver of some kind since around 1996. I mean, I've been driving all over the place. I went all over the lower 48. The only state that I haven't driven in is Hawaii. That was on my bucket list of things to do, and then COVID happened and all the nonsense that came along with COVID. So I got invited to work over there to run, not necessarily work for the post office, but deliver packages similar to the post office, but a Hawaiian type business. That fell through, unfortunately. At one point, we thought about moving there, and then, I gave up on that. That was the fire happened in Maui, and everything got really weird. So I said, all right, we're gonna stay in Alaska. I feel good here. I like it here. Actually, smack down. I was born here in Anchorage, not too far from where I live right now, at a hospital called Providence Hospital. I was adopted around 2 years old, because at that time I think my mother she was very young, like 13, 14 years old. She was very young. And back in the 1970s, it wasn't exactly easy for a young mother to take care of a child. So she put me up for adoption, rightfully so. I was adopted out with a family that lived here for a period of time, worked on the military base. My mom was an X-ray technician. My dad worked for the U.S. Geological Survey. And then they moved to the East Coast in New Hampshire. But yes, my family roots is really what brought me back to Alaska. I think I came back to Alaska in 2004. I've left a couple times, but not for very long. It's just one of those places where you come and stay for a while, then you leave, and then you get fed up with all the nonsense down south. All the rules, regulations, excessive taxes. Everybody's trying to steal your money. So you just end up coming back. This is why the locals here, we kind of nicknamed it a boomerang state. Because a lot of people leave, then they'll come back. Maybe not right away, but they come back. Which makes it kind of interesting. Fires and volcanic eruption in Hawaii. We have volcanoes here too. They don't pop off very often, but when they do, they're a real pain in the butt. I mean, if you live near a volcano and own a vehicle, that's ever been close to a volcanic eruption, you don't try to drive your vehicle around volcanic ash. It ruins your car. But business still has to happen. People still need to go to work. And sometimes those dust clouds last for, weeks. And then it all settles on the ground and gets kicked up. It's just a pain. I mean, it looked cool in the movies. It's not so cool when you're breathing it in. That's what kills us up here. Or in Hawaii too. You don't want to breathe in that volcanic ash. Lenny says, I'm doing great. I'm just going back up through some of the comments I might have missed. I know I saw Dawn in there at one point. Dirty chicken, your eggs are getting cold. Okay. Support from somewhere. I don't recognize that flag. It's too small. Bangladesh. Wow. King Funny World says hi from Bangladesh. That is awesome. Wow. Oh. I almost hit the wrong button. That would sucked. Man. This whole meal here, right? This doesn't cost me very much. I mean, the steak itself is like, what, $12 or $14? And you got a couple of eggs. There's like $1. Reindeer sausage, so yeah. Right around $16 per meal. Now, when I did this up in Nome, Alaska, I think it was costing me close to about $25 a day on average. But the cost of everything in Nome is super expensive. And the people in the grocery store are looking at me like, is that all you eat? You only come in and you buy ribeye steaks. You come in and you buy a family package of ribeye steaks. You know, 3 of them, it's like 50, 60 bucks. And that was all I'd eat for 3 days. Ribeye steaks, some eggs, and some reindeer sausage. And I was thriving. I was thriving eating just this. I felt so good. And when I was in Nome, I had plenty of time to actually just focus. Just completely focus on myself while I was there. I didn't have all these distractions like cats or, you know, family treats. You know, that's a native family treat. I believe they went to the Alaskan Native Medical Center. They make Alaskan native fry bread there. This stuff's pretty good. But you can overdo that stuff. But all in all, I had a pretty good day at work. We've been really busy. That's why I didn't get to a video last week. It's because I was just so busy. When I got to Sunday, I started filming a ridiculous video of what I was doing to my pickup truck. And then I was like, you know, this isn't even on topic of what I'm doing, so why am I wasting my energy on that particular video? I'll post it someday maybe. But it's off topic for the channel. And I do post like Alaska-based off-topic type stuff from time to time. Because I live in Alaska. I mean, I'm trying to work on my truck outside in the winter and it sucks. So I just try to make things interesting as I go. Yes. So if you guys never tried the carnivore diet, this right here is one of the best places to do it, I think. I started out with hamburger meat. Now we're talking about 80-20 hamburger meat or 70-30 hamburger meat. And I was on a super strict budget. I mean, me and my family that live in this house, we were broke at the time. I wasn't working. I was so fat. I was having a hard time getting jobs. I was having a hard time staying busy. We didn't have a lot of money coming in. At that time, I believe I was relying mainly on snow removal. And, you know, that's hit and miss. So we'd have one snowstorm, 2 snowstorms, and then all of a sudden your paycheck's gone. And I didn't have a whole lot of money. So I did almost all of my weight loss journey on a serious budget. And that's why I try to promote, you know, budget-friendly options. You know, hamburger meat is a great way to get started on the carnivore diet. But you need to mix it up. You can't just sit there and eat hamburger meat all the time. You're going to get bored. You're going to get worn out. That's why you got to have hamburger meat, eggs, a little bit of bacon, a little bit of shrimp, some sardines, just to make it interesting. What happened to my comment section? There's like 39 people in the stream. Nobody's commenting. What am I doing wrong today? Sitting here eating steak. Sometimes this is a popular thing to watch. You know, sometimes people will just sit there and watch me eat steak for an hour or until it's all done. Then I have to go take a shower and go to bed. Well, let's see. It's about almost 6:30 here in Alaska right now. So what time is it in your neck of the woods? I mean, 6:30 here in Alaska. I know some of you that are on the other side of the globe. That's a pretty big time difference there. I wish I had more eggs tonight. Normally I like to eat about 6 eggs. 6 eggs. A ribeye steak. Wow. My comment section is broken. Somebody make a comment. Make a something smart aleck remark or something. So I know it's still working. Nothing. I think I broke it. I broke YouTube. Hi, kitty. Oh. You want to say hi to everybody? Come over. Oh. I think my wife is trying to message me now. I think if I do this, I can see something. Yeah, she sent a photo. Hey, get out of my stuff. That's mine. Oh man. Puppy's treat. So since I started cooking my ribeye steak the way I do now, my dog really doesn't get a lot of little, fat trimmings anymore. Because when you cook up the fat in the pan first and make it edible, it makes it really hard to give it away. So what happened? Weird. It's almost like I broke my thread. I don't know what's going on. I've never sat here this long and nobody's commented anything, which is really weird. Hello. I definitely... I don't know how I got the outside so nice and crispy in a pan and then the inside so nice and red. No, it's mine. Me and her, we fight all the time. Watch this. If I touch her tail. Ow! I love you too. She's gonna beat me up. What does that button do? Oh. If I touch this, what happens? Oh. Wow, that's kind of cool. That's something new. I haven't seen that button before. That means I can share the link while I'm in the stream. That's kind of cool. I can put it on Facebook. I can send it in Gmail. I can send it in a messenger. Allows me to put it on Twitter messages. Huh. I can copy the link. That's neat. Weird. So YouTube's always trying to do stuff, new stuff to help us get out, get seen more. It's kind of cool. It's kind of handy. Yes. I think I did. I broke my live stream somehow. Because I know if Don was here, Don would say something. Just to let me know it was still working. Alright, how about this? If my live stream is still working, click the little 3 dots up in the top right corner and then hit the like button. That way, if I see the likes go up, that means I know everybody's still seeing me. Nothing yet. Oh, there's one. Okay. Why isn't it allowing people to comment? How bizarre. I don't like this. Everybody should be allowed to make fun of me. Because that's kind of how I roll. I wonder why. What did I do? Or did I do anything? Huh. Okay. Try that button. Nothing. Why doesn't this... Yeah, I got more likes there. Weird. Alright. So if I hit that... Top messages, all messages. Let's try this. Wow, there it goes. I don't know what button I hit. I'm getting the chat feed now. Hey, how you doing there, Adrian? I'm glad we finally got to meet. I haven't seen you in a long time. You were just a thought, and now you're here. And I appreciate you for being here because that means, you know, we're having fun. And we're actually having a bonding moment for the first time because I've never met you. Nor would I have named the child Adrian. I got a lot of kids, by the way. Probably too many. All right. There we go. Yep, it's working. Felix, hey there. Yeah, the kitten. She wants stuff. Yeah, Patricia, I know. It's just, I hit a button in there, and I'm not sure what I do this often to myself. Kind of like my Amazon orders. I order stuff off of Amazon thinking I'm buying a certain thing. And then when it shows up, I'm like, who ordered this and why is it here? And then when I take it out of the package or I think it's something specific, it turns out to be something else or a part to something that I didn't get the whole, I didn't read. That's where I lack a lot of, yeah, when I order stuff, I forget to read the description of a lot of things. I think, like I ordered this truck grill and it wasn't the grill. I mean, embarrassingly enough. And here I am trying to make a video on how to install a truck grill. And it's not even the grill, it's just an insert. And I'm like, this is horrible. What am I going to do with all this footage? What am I going to do with this? So, yeah, I got to figure something. Yeah. Bro! Adrian says, bro. Josh Curry, CM Punk come to Chicago. WWE, man. Tonight. Oh, wow. I used to love the WWF and WWE when I was younger. I mean, we didn't have a whole lot else to watch when I was a kid. I remember Battlestar Galactica. Man, I used to love that. Doctor Who. You know, all the old shows were really good. They really got your imagination working. You're a CM Punk? What does that mean? I'm not sure what a CM Punk would be. Doesn't tell me a lot. I'm just an ex-fat man that's trying not to be fat anymore. I've been doing good, Felix. Thank you. I did have a couple people reach out to me in the last couple of days. You know, because I've been pretty consistent about uploading a video, doing a live stream, uploading maybe some shorts. But I kind of had to take a break and a step back. And I do plan on talking about that, the dirty details of why, in this weekend's weight loss video, because, yeah, I hit a little bit of a wall, and it was my own doing. You guys can imagine the rest from there. But it happens. But everything works out. Everything works out in the end as long as we keep doing. Let's see. I've recently got... Oh, Felix, you got a job. Congratulations. Awesome. I hope it's a good one. And since you've been losing weight, hopefully you can excel pretty quickly. That's one of the most amazing factors about the carnivore diet, is once you get the mental clarity and you get rid of all the sugars and nonsense and garbage crap food, you can think so clear. You make super good decisions. You can make really fast decisions. I have excelled like tenfold in my employment since I started the carnivore diet. I had no idea that the carnivore diet would, kind of catapult me into different positions, more responsibility type roles. And it's not even the type, it was the type that the stuff that I do now would have stressed me out so much. I would have been sensitive about things. I probably would have snapped at people because my workload is really heavy. I mean, sometimes there's like 3 or 4 projects going on. Not a problem. Not a problem. The carnivore diet mental focus is just huge. And people talk about it a lot. And then until you actually experience it for yourself, they call it brain fog. But when the brain fog lifts and you experience it for yourself, and then all of a sudden you're starting to make more money, or you're starting to be more sociable, you have less anxiety, almost no depression. Everything works. Everything works really good that way. Restless, currently parked in Buffalo, New York, waiting to get a load of steel unloaded, and then Buffalo Bills Stadium, and the new one they're building. Oh, that sounds like a fun one. That's a good load there. So right now I've been doing a lot of work in the metal yard. So we get a lot of recycled metal that comes in, and then we bale it up into bales. You've got to separate different types. I don't do the separating. I'm just a truck driver. I come in. Sometimes I operate some of the equipment, but back containers up to this loader contraption, and it slides into my container, and it's got a big ram that pushes the metal in. Sometimes it makes a hole in the trailer. We got to fix it. That's a pain. We try not to make holes. From India. Hello there. Prabhakar. Very nice. Yeah. That steak didn't last long, guys. I mean, this is... When I get home from work, I'm hungry. Like, I want to eat right away. Yeah, I'm going to give that little piece. Maybe to the cat. The cat will eat it. Here. You want that? Go ahead. Let's see. Okay. I'm going to have to take it in front of the camera if we're going to get it. Here. Go ahead. Come on. Oh, there's my baby. She's licking the salt off. If you don't eat it, I'm giving it to the dog. Oh, she took it. How funny. People say cats don't understand human words. Mm-hmm. Hey, good morning there. Oh, yeah, it is morning over in India now, isn't it? I think it's early. Or maybe, yeah, you guys are just waking up. Oh, 9 a.m. Well, I hope you're having a wonderful day.
And you don't live in one of the crap parts of India where people just don't like each other. Also, I'm using voice to text, so things might look a little spelled wrong or scrambled up. Yeah, that happens to me all the time. Whenever I use voice to text, it says all kinds of gibberish, and I've usually already hit send. And then, yeah, you don't use voice to text when you're talking to your boss. Then you're like, really? Why did you tell me to what? Yeah. Okay. We're down to the nitty gritty. Where's my dog? Hi. My doggy's over here. My doggy gets the bottom of the bowl. Wow, my cat just ate all of that piece of fat. Like it's all gone. Shit, that was a pretty good sized chunk. So now that the thread's back up and running, go back through here and see what I missed. I missed a lot. Felix testing 1, 2, 3. Yeah. Oh, Linda. Hi, Linda. 10:25. Honey Drake said she shrunk on carnivore as well. Congratulations to anybody that's... Guys, the inches lost on the carnivore diet is such a weird thing. I mean, it's like you can't explain it. It's like even sometimes you might like have a weight fluctuation where you might look like you're gaining weight, but then you might lose 3 inches around the waistline. And then all of a sudden your pants become super baggy. I just bought these pants that I'm wearing now, and they're super baggy. And this shirt, this is the first time I think this is an extra large. I'm not sure. I haven't been able to fit in an extra large for many years. It's either an extra large or a large. But I don't think I'll ever be down to a medium. I feel more buffed. Yeah, Felix. I feel buffier. I mean, I feel, yeah, like I could get frisky if I wanted to and not get injured. Ghee is definitely a part of everyday food. Oh. Yeah, I'm thinking about it now. I mean, I think about a lot of things. But now getting me to actually buy something is the hard part. You know, I've been looking into iodine supplements. I finally bought some. And I took some today. Does anybody here know anything about iodine? What is it supposed to do? You know, besides be like a bunch of little drops in a glass of water or whatever, coffee. I think I took about 10 drops of 2% iodine today. I don't know if it did anything. I don't notice anything different. Yes, this is the last of my 2 reindeer sausages that I fried up in beef tallow today. And if you've ever tried, try that. Or get some beef fat. Just get the beef fat going. Throw some sausage in there with the beef fat. And it gives it this beautiful color. It's almost like a crunch. Oh, there we go. Look at that. That works. I've never tried that before. That works. Weird. Huh. I see people do it all the time. Like they hold up something and they put their hand behind it. Try to get it focused. Like if I go like this, you can't read it. You know, I'll put my hand back. Oh, now you can see what it is. Oh, weird. You learn something new every single day. I made progress with eating meat. Around 80% and 20% rice. Okay. Potatoes. Not trying to rush it. Very great benefits there, Felix. And as you know, I don't shame anybody for having some carbs. I've been trying to cut down the carbs. But some cases, carbs are necessary. And I'm going to talk a little bit about that in this weekend's update because I have found something out about myself that I was really surprised to find out. that was kind of eye-opening. And it's been cold here. So, like a couple days ago, I think, or maybe yesterday, it was like 8 degrees in the morning. And I've had a problem in the cold with my hands being really cold. But I kind of figured out a happy medium. So I still get cold hands, but I don't get cold hands to the point that I want to cry. Because last winter, I was going through some things with my hands. I just couldn't be outside for long, even with gloves on. My hands would hurt so bad. And then I would have to, like, I was like, had them balled up under my shirt, and I'm just like in tears almost. I'm like, oh, it hurts so bad. Like somebody hit all of my hands the same. I hit my whole hand with a hammer. That's how it hurt. That's how bad it hurt. That was horrible. Here, doggy. You get the fat out of that ball, too. Oh, learning every day. Yeah. Tucson, Arizona in the house. Hey there, George. Nice to see you. And I missed something. Okay. No. Wait a second. I didn't read all of Felix's comment. It says, I made progress with eating meat, around 80-20% rice, potatoes, not trying to rush it, and it's been noticeable that I've gained weight. You've gained weight? Huh. Is it water weight? I'll be guessing that it's water weight, Felix. Because when I was going through a lot of my transition time, water weight is like kapow in your face, and it does make you look like you gained weight like within almost 24, 48 hours at times, depending on, like if I were to eat 3 of these little suckers right here, these are great, but if I were to eat 3 of these, tomorrow I would feel like crap. I would have swollen ankles, swollen feet. Yeah, my legs would look puffy. My face would look puffy. It would be pretty apparent that I got into something with a lot of oil. Adult acne comes with a lot of seed oils and different types of vegetables, different types of sweets. And that's one thing I do like about the carnivore diet. There's no acne going on anymore. I mean, I'm 50 years old. Why would I have pimples anyways? But it happens. There's a lot of people out there, even 50 years old, 60-year-olds, they have adult acne. The carnivore diet fixes it. I have no acne on my back or on my chest anymore. I used to have pimples all over the place. My ex-wife was a fanatic for trying to pick at them. I mean, she used to force me to lay on the bed so she could pop pimples on my back. It was embarrassing, frustrating at the same time, and you know, you just try to make your wife happy, but it's just one of those things. And none of that anymore. I have clear skin on my back now. It's amazing how clear it is. I even looked at it in a video one time. I posted it in a video. I was like, wow, look at my back. There's like no pimples on my back. It's just awesome. Yeah, I mentioned before I've had trouble gaining weight. No matter how much I eat, I burn calories fast. You know, that's not the worst thing in the world. I understand if you're trying to gain weight. I do know some people that try to gain weight and they have a hard time, and they usually wind up eating a lot of wrong foods. But what's the right food to naturally gain weight? I don't know. Now, when I was younger and I was trying to bulk up when I was lifting weights, for one, I was eating a lot of protein. I wasn't focused on fat back then, but I was eating a lot of carbs, whole bunches of carbs. We're talking like lots of pasta. That was one of the things. A whole bunch of pasta, some specific vegetables. I mean, I tried to really wipe out all the vegetable thoughts out of my mind ever since I figured out how bad the vegetables were hurting me. Because I never imagined that vegetables could be such a problem. You know, all my life, I have always thought that eating a salad, over anything else was going to help me be healthier. Not miserable, not in pain, not swollen. But it did. It made me miserable in pain and swollen. Gave me kidney stones. Yeah, crap. I mean, nobody wants to live like that. And I was never happy after eating a salad either. I was always wanting to put more stuff in there. I was wanting to put more dressing on it or croutons in there. And so it was never just a salad anymore. It was the only time it was just a salad was with one of my long time ago girlfriends. Was her mom used to give us a little plate, call it dinner salad, East Coast thing maybe. I don't know, they might do it other parts of the world, but it was just a dinner salad, some greens, onions, peppers, whatever. Maybe a part of a hard boiled egg was in there. And we always had that right before we had our main course, whatever dinner would be that night. It was a little dinner salad, then our food, and a little bit for dessert afterwards. And that was it. But that was in moderation, and for so many years, people were trying to teach me that, oh, you just need to eat Caesar salad or, this type of salad. And then throughout my weight loss journey, before I got started, I was eating a lot of salad, but I was putting a lot of eggs in there, a lot of meat. But it was always covered in ranch dressing or some sort of nasty dressing that's not even good for the body. So I was never getting better. Nothing was getting better eating that way. Let's see, before I had trouble gaining weight. Yeah, not everyone can do that. What is it with the misconception, fatty meats or meats having fat that people get rid of? I don't know. I don't understand that either. I mean, it took me a while to wrap my mind around the fact that I need to eat the animal fats for energy. Didn't make any sense until I started living it, eating it, breathing it, and then this is my life now. And I couldn't imagine doing it any other way, especially after talking to some of my elder relatives that live here in Alaska. Because that's how they survived. The indigenous Alaskans survived eating meats and fats and whatever was available off the land. And here in Alaska, we have blueberries, we have some raspberries, salmon berries. There are some various types of fruits that grow naturally here, but they don't grow that often. They're plentiful throughout the summer. I mean, you're talking like miles upon miles of blueberries. And then, cranberries, different types of low-lying cranberries. I mean, and people would survive off of that. They would gather up all the berries. What my Akka was telling me, Akka's grandma here in Alaska, said everybody would gather up all the berries. And then when somebody went hunting, they'd carve the fat off. And then you'd render the fat down and you'd mix the fat with the berries. And that's what they would eat for energy. And it also keeps well. So you can mix your berries in with your fat, freeze it. And Alaska's cold. You can put everything outside. And it's just amazing. It's a circle of life that continues. And it's like the fish around here. The fish have the appropriate vitamins and the omega-3s and omega-6s, whatever it is, that allow us to survive up here in the winter months when it's just solid darkness. It gives us that same vitamin that the sun gives off so we can survive up here. The environment provides what you need to survive there almost everywhere you go in the world. I just found that so interesting. I do not count calories, Buff Historian. I stopped counting calories shortly after I started into KetoVore, which was right after my keto type disaster. That was a fiasco because a lot of keto options aren't keto. And I'm the guy that was buying the stuff off the counter like, oh, this says keto. And I go home and I'd eat it and I'd feel like crap. And then at that time, I wasn't reading ingredients. I didn't have my mindset wrapped around that point because I was doing a lot of fasting before that, and I had such great success with fasting. We're talking like several weeks upon weeks upon weeks of just fantastic weight loss. You're talking like 5 pounds here, 7 pounds, 14 pounds. Very first fast with 30 pounds. I mean, it was huge chunks of weight was coming off. And a lot of that wasn't necessarily fat loss, but that was water weight. So, I mean, I was packing around a bunch of water. I mean, it was like I was walking around with a keg of beer on my back. But it felt so good once that water weight was off. Then over time with the carnivore diet, it started alleviating all the inflammation I had in my joints. I had joints in my knees, my neck specifically. You know, I'm a truck driver, so I got to look around and do a lot of stuff with my neck. I couldn't look over my shoulder for the longest time. I mean, I can look over my shoulder now. So the flexibility comes back. The random back pains went away. And this is all from eating meats, at least 90% meats and fats. That's where I kind of hover. Is I like that. I just like the mindset around being able to eat 90% and then 10% whatever. It doesn't matter. I don't care. Because it's worked for me for so long. You know, 90-10 eating principle. And you know, this is beef, butter, bacon, and eggs has been the most strict version of carnivore that I've really worked with. And I've been able to have a very long stretch of it. So, but not every day of the 90 days was 100%. I mean, that's just got to be real. You know, I don't know if I could do 100% for 90 days. I don't know if I can because I have cravings. You know, I crave other fruits at times. Sometimes it might be an orange, not very often, or it could be bananas. I can eat bananas all day long, but I like to eat them like 4 or 5 at a time, and that's my problem with a lot of food. But if I'm eating like 4 or 5 bananas compared to an entire pizza, an entire large pizza, I feel like I'm doing much, much better. Hey, John, how's it going this week? Just tuned in. Hey, Gary, it's going pretty good. This is the end of my 90 days of my beef, bacon, butter, and eggs. I don't even see it being an ending because it's just become what I eat now. You know, I do mix things up a little bit. It's not just beef, bacon, butter, and eggs. But I did it I had enough time where I was doing it strict enough that I could really dial in a lot of things as I started maybe adding a little bit of this or that back in. And I could really hyper focus on certain things. Like, yeah, okay, I'll take a little bit of this and I'll try that. Or I'll have a banana, see how I feel. You know, give it a couple days. Like, oh, okay, bananas kind of work. Some other types of fruits kind of work. I found out that I can eat a lot of different fruits now, and that I couldn't eat before. You know, like an apple. I did experiment with an apple. I was okay before I started all of this. If I ate an apple, it would shoot me into almost like a diabetic type situation. I mean, it was just too much natural sugar all at once, and apples would just mess with me. But I ate an apple throughout this process, and I was like, nothing. That's fine. I was able to go to bed. I wasn't restless at night. I wasn't suffering because before I would have all kinds of problems, like insomnia, anxiety, yeah, all that stuff. That's how I do mostly. Some chicken now and again. Yeah, I wish chicken had a little more fat. You got to figure out. I mean, because I used to like eating a lot of those rotisserie chickens. That was part of the problem with eating the rotisserie chicken is I can eat the whole chicken, but there's really not enough fat there, so it makes the digestion process of the chicken hard on the gut, harder than it needs to be. So yeah, fasting is a part of our lifestyle. Once in 14 days. Fast exactly once in 14 days, which is called Eskadashi. I don't know in Hinduism. Now Ramadan, that's an interesting fast. I've looked into that. I've also been waiting on some studies to come out. I think it's Ramadan, right? Where they fast for 30 days, you know, no food or drink, sun up, sun down. It's basically a dry fast. And only the people that are medically able to do it should be doing it. I mean, it's part of the culture over there. But there are some studies being done. I don't know if they're out yet. And I definitely want to check those out because I've been in the wintertime in Alaska, I tend to naturally dry fast. And it's just one of those things because it's colder. You don't feel like you require as much hydration. I still like to drink some water, but I tend to drink a lot less water throughout my workday. But I try to get my electrolytes in throughout work. So, but I do tend to dry fast totally by accident. Let's see. Inject the breast with butter. Let's see, thighs with skin. On is good. Let's see, dark meat is fattier. Yeah, I don't know if we're doing. What are you guys doing for Thanksgiving? You guys doing turkey? You doing ham? I like them both. I like turkey. I like ham. But if we do a turkey, I'm doing it my way this year. We're flipping that bird over upside down. We're putting the breast down, and we're cooking it that way. And we're gonna stuff the skin with a bunch of butter, and leave the breast down in the pan, and just let it soak up all that butter and natural fat from the dark meat that's on top. And it's always been the best way to cook a bird. Flip that sucker upside down. Don't boil it in peanut oil. That's just weird. I mean, turduckens, that's weird. I mean, I would try it. I would try a turducken, but it's just weird. Why would you take a bird and stuff it in a bird and then stuff it in another bird? I don't know. It's just strange. It's like taking eggs, like hard boiling your eggs and putting it inside the bird. Just weird. Oh, prime rib and ham. That sounds amazing, Gary. Definitely. I'm thinking we're going to go to my relative's house for Thanksgiving. And we're just going to do it there. And I'm to the point now with this weight loss journey where I don't feel like I'm going to wreck it no matter what I do now. I feel like I can just go enjoy a holiday and then come right back home and hop right back on the carnivore diet train, like a lot of people do. I know this happens to a lot of people that I've talked to that do the carnivore diet. There's a couple ladies out there that I've discussed this with too about the holidays, because last year I was a hot mess coming into Thanksgiving and Christmas. I was so worried about going to my sister-in-law's house for Thanksgiving because she makes amazing pies. I feel bad for not enjoying some of the pies. But another lady I talked to that's doing the carnivore diet, she says she eats 1 spoon of everything or a fork full of everything. And then she focuses mainly on the meat. So that gives her that little taste of everything, which is not a bad idea if you can stick to it. Now, my problem would be if I found something that was just absolutely awesome, yeah, I'd want to return to it and over and over and over again, because it's going to trigger that addiction type, signal in my brain. And I'm just going to be like, oh, yeah. It's like when you eat a good cheesecake and there's a variety of different cheesecakes in there, and you want to try a slice of every single one. And by the time you're done with that cheesecake, you ate like 6 slices of cheesecake, and you had, I can't even calculate how many calories that is. That's a crazy amount of calories, just in 1 slice of cheesecake. And then you ate like 6 or 7 of them totally by accident. You start out with a bite and you're like, oh, that's good. And then all of a sudden that slice is gone. That's how it all starts for me. But yeah, same thing goes with eating pizza. All right. Well, we've been going at it for about an hour, guys. I need to wind it down. It's 7 p.m. here. I'm usually in bed, not sleeping, but I'm usually showered and in bed by about 8 o'clock, 8:30. And then I'm just like watching TV, playing on my phone, responding to comments on YouTube or Facebook or whatnot. Just trying to be real. What is up? So this is Gray Bear. This is my fat panda kitty. You got a bump. I hope that's not, no, that's not a bump. That's an organ. Oh, yes, rub the panda kitty's belly. She is my buddy. She never likes me holding her. I don't know why. But this is the cat. She comes and lays on me in the middle of the night. Like, she's got her spot between my legs. It's so cool. But she's been the most faithful cat that I've had. So when I was gone to Nome, I was gone for like a month and a half, and I came home and she was sitting right here on the table, just waiting for me to walk in the door. And she's like, looked at me and then looked at me again, and she's like, are you really here? Like, wow. She was so happy. She was so happy I came home. She thought she lost her human. I did a 4-day fast last. Congratulations, Gary. That's a good one. 4-day fast. It's like 80 something hours. Had to cut it short when my blood sugar dropped too low. Gotta watch the blood sugar, especially if you have blood sugar type issues. Yes, good job, Gary, for figuring that out quickly, because that can be a problem. It's hard for some people to just start fasting and then all of a sudden they don't recognize the signals of low blood sugar or something like that. And then they have like a crazy response to the fast, and then it's kind of hard for somebody that's almost unconscious to explain to a physician too, or ambulance people that show up and be like, yeah, I've been fasting for 4 days, and yeah, so they might administer the wrong stuff. Hey there, George V. George V, aren't you the one that says Arizona all the time? Oh, okay, we're gonna do this today. You like rabbits. My wife does too. She caught a rabbit. Man, it wasn't, I would have took pictures of that, but it looked gross. The rabbit that we had, it was amazing. It was yummy rabbit. I've eaten rabbit a lot. But yeah, she caught a rabbit and then she cooked it up, and then the pieces that she gave me were considered the prime choice parts of the rabbit. I don't even know what that is, but I think it's all delicious. But it was really, really good, and I didn't take a picture of it because it looked so foul. I was like, that doesn't look appetizing. But my wife likes to, she likes to hunt. She likes to get way too many grouse. I mean, she loves to go hunting grouse. She likes to eat it. She's coming around to the carnivore diet too, by the way. She's not like all in like I am, but she's finding the benefits of more meats and fats. She's trimming down. She's losing inches herself. I do believe she said she lost some weight, which is great because she wasn't feeling that great for a little while. And it's just hard when you're so sugar addicted, carb addicted, and addicted to just random standardized type way of eating that we do here in the United States, which is nonsense type food. The fast food, I can't even think of many fast food establishments here that actually serve halfway decent food. Qdoba, I've been there. I've had their protein bowl. I did pretty good on that, but it's not very fatty, so it's kind of hard on the gut. So I had to add sour cream or something to it. I had to up the fat content in the protein bowl in order to make it it tasted great, but it doesn't sit in your stomach well because there's there's not enough fat in there. Jamie, how you doing, Jamie? Wow, you guys keep popping in like right as I'm popping out. I feel like I should be in bed. But yeah, I'm doing great, man. I mean, I lost a lot of weight. I mean, the inches are coming off. I mean, the belt, look at the belt. Look at that. That's almost like, that's amazing in itself. That's a big difference there. But these are size 36 pants I'm in now. I mean, I can't, it just, yeah, I got some chub going on. A little bit going on here. Nothing that I'm too embarrassed about. It's just, that's part of being an obese man that loses weight. You're going to have something. There's going to be something left over. You got to have that reminder. And the excess skin is definitely a freaking reminder. It's not going to go away. I mean, I don't believe I'm going to need surgery, and I'm not sure how much more weight I'm going to lose. So I'm approximately like 30 pounds away from my goal weight of 235. I mean, I'm happy where I'm at right now, but 235, just to make it there again. Even if I gain some weight on top of that, I'd just be so happy. Just because that was my goal when I started this weight loss journey, is to drop enough weight to get down to 235, potentially fit back into my old military uniform. And yeah, weird. But yeah, look at the skull, man, the head. is so much smaller. People don't realize when they're morbidly obese how swollen their freaking head is. Your face is just, my face was like this big when all this started, like this much bigger. This part of my skull was huge. I had this big giant shelf in the back of my neck, and my wife cut my hair last night. And we were talking about how the shelf's like gone back here. I got definition in my neck again. I'm seeing veins in my hands that I haven't seen in like 10 years. I can find the veins in my arm for the first time in like 10, 12 years. I mean, it's so, I knew where the vein was, so it was easy enough for me to point at it for the doctor and be like, dude, the vein is right here. And they would hit it every time. It's only if they went in where I told them to go in, you know, for taking blood or whatnot. Other than that, they'd sit there and do the search and destroy, poking at my arm for like 10 pokes before I just said, enough, give that to me, I'll do it. So my question is, Jamie, how are you doing? Now, Jamie's been around for quite some time now. I haven't heard from him in a while, but you've been doing your own thing. I hope you're doing good. Yeah, I got there, then land where you're comfortable. Yeah, get there and then land. I'm sorry, I don't have my. So I have a problem with my eyesight. If I pull you in here really obnoxiously close to where you just gotta like see my big giant schnoz, I can read everything perfectly. If I back you guys up a little bit, actually right there is not too bad. I can kind of read right there. But sometimes I don't know, I got really weird eyesight. And a lot of that happened when I got really severe sleep apnea. So I think the lack of oxygen really put a strain on my eyesight. And I don't think that's reversible. I was praying that the carnivore diet, because a lot of people claim they get better eyesight with the carnivore diet. I was praying that might be a thing. For me, I don't feel like my eyesight's getting worse or getting better. So I think it's just going to stay with what it is. Sorry, just went AFK. AFK back. Huh. Get to 235 and then maybe bounce to 250 or wherever your body's happy. I feel great right now. I mean, I'm just kind of along for the ride at the moment, because you know how these things have been going for me. I mean, I can't even believe when I look back at my weight loss journey, and I do from time to time, and I try not to because it really makes me emotional. I tend to cry a lot when I watch my own videos. Like, I was like, man, that was me. You know, I was that fat guy. Like, what was I doing to myself? What was I doing to my family? And my attitude was totally different. My ability to speak was just almost inaudible. I'd say a couple key things, and then all of a sudden I'd be off on another squirrel topic, or just, I had all these crazy random opinions. I was like, wow, that's scary. And to think that a lot of people in the United States are going through exactly what I was going through too. And it's all fixable just by losing some weight and eating some meat. Weird. AFK, away from keyboard. Oh, okay. I'm not up on all them little acronyms. The North Slope kind of like burned me out with acronyms, because the oil field, the safety programs, I mean, they had so many of them. It's like, stop it. It's like somebody would just sit there and get paid to come up with all these little abbreviations. And I'm like, almost every single hitch up there was just a new one and then another one. And you're supposed to remember them and be able to talk about them or stuff like that. It's like, okay. All right, guys. Yep. We're going to get in the shower. I'm going to go lay down for a while. You can see my eyes. They're getting tired. I can see my own eyes. They're getting tired. I'm getting tired. I'm done with the day. I want to go rest for a little while. Crazy. Then I have to come up with magical time on the weekend to film this video and figure out how I'm going to put it all together, because I have like 90 days of stuff to talk about. not 90 days worth of interesting stuff to talk about, but stuff that's happened in the last 90 days. I got to figure out how to piece that all together. And it's like a big giant jigsaw puzzle of madness. So, okay, wish me luck with putting the video together over the weekend. Big old John tired of the day. Yeah, that's right. How's the mental health after carnivore? Has it improved? Absolutely, it has improved. Absolutely. I mean, I can't say much more about it. I mean, I just don't understand why more people don't try it, because mental health is a huge thing. I've had family members talk. Yeah, here you guys are sucking me back into the conversation. I see what you're doing there, but I've had family members talk about, oh, their mental health sucks, or they're having problems with their mental health. And then I look at them, I'm like, okay, eat meat and fat, and you'll get better. And you know what they don't do? They don't eat the meat and fat to get better. What they do is they go to McDonald's and they go to KFC and then they order Dairy Queen and then they go to Starbucks and get some sugary frappity crap drink. And then they wonder why their mental health sucks. Well, eat another bag of Takis and yeah, sit there munching on potato chips and Doritos and a lot of overly processed foods and saturated fats, and then they're depressed. They don't feel good. They don't look good. You know, they have adult acne or just acne in general. I mean, Carrie's daughter at Homestead Hal, I don't really follow them too much, but the change in his daughter's face, it was just miraculous. You know, she went from like a very young, nice girl, pimply faced, and then now all of a sudden her skin is clear. And it's just because she changed her diet. She started eating more meats and fats. And now all of a sudden her skin is cleaning up quickly. And you know, even when I was doing a vegan or vegetarian type lifestyle, I was full of acne. I had zits and pimples and crap everywhere. And a lot of it was caused from the vegetables. Go figure. I mean, who would have thought, you know, that would happen? It just makes me think about, you know, how many times people tried to help me out in my life, just giving me a few little tiny bits and pieces of advice. You know, hey, maybe try this or maybe try that. And then I just fought them. I fought them. It's like I wasn't ready to hear it. And I think that's the problem where we get into these arguments about what we need to do to hopefully help others or for them to help themselves. If they're not ready to hear it, they're not ready. They're not ready to hear it. Doesn't matter who they are. It could be your most prized loved one in your family. If they're not ready, great. Ah, it went off. Great. Ah, it went off. I was just getting ready to try to figure out something. I took you guys out of my little tripod thingy there that holds you up so you don't fall flat on your face, kind of like this. But yeah, anyways. Okay, guys. I'm going to cut the stream here. I'm starting to talk gibberish to myself. And I'm not making a whole lot of sense at this point because I just need to just take a shot, collect my thoughts. I do need to take down a bunch of notes before I get started on this weekend's update video because, man, 90 days. A lot happened. I mean, I went to Nome. I worked there. I felt like I was living there for a period of time. The people at the grocery store, well, I'm related to a lot of people there. Yeah, a lot of people knew me there. I mean, it's strange. It's just weird. It's like big, giant, happy family getting along, everybody doing, it's just weird. It's like big, giant, happy family getting along, everybody doing fun stuff. Unfortunately, most of the people were drinking, but that's just part of life in remote Alaska. So there's a lot of drinking that goes on up. I wish everybody the best, and yeah, you want to lose some weight, you want to learn a little bit more about what I'm doing, how I'm doing it, I just simply talk about the experience as I go. Subscribe to the channel, check me out. I do have a lot of interesting videos on how I've been losing the weight and the stuff I've been doing to lose the weight. So far I've been down, I lost over 170 pounds in right around a year and a half. Been doing the carnivore diet for over a year to some extreme. or another. And yeah, my connection is dying. I don't know why. I'm on Wi-Fi. Why is my live stream dying? All right, take care, guys.